Gonna replacing a door heater today. See, door heater wires just hanging out. Someone tried to jerry rig it. Altogether, we've got a new door gasket, door heater, heater track, door closure, latch strike, hinges. So we're getting it all. So we got all the hinge covers removed, and we're going to pull the whole door off so that way we can easily change the frame heater. It's all about preparation. Door off, pull the threshold loose. We're going to clean all this stuff out. Once we get it all cleaned and dried, we'll take everything else off. We get all the ice up. See, that's still ice. Gotta get that ice out and get it cleaned and dried. I know it seems inconsequential, but you really got to get all that ice out of there. I'm almost there, but there's just a little bit. See this? All the ice is gone. There's a little bit right there. We got to get all that out. And then when we're all done, we'll put everything back down. We'll silicone it down, and we'll silicone this entire threshold on all the way into these corners. You also want to pull all the old silicone out so that way we can put new stuff down. And we'll silicone all the way out here and create a giant dry barrier for everything. This will make the heater last longer. If you don't do all this, you'll just be back. This is a wire bristled brush for the Sawzall. Really gets all this stuff off. Just going to ensure that we get all the water off. Okay, now we're nice and dry and clean. We're going to start putting everything back on. Siliconed it all up. Now our surface is ready to start putting the heater track in, and then we'll lay the heater. Take our time. So all this silver silicone is not visible. The threshold will sit over that, and I'll do clear silicone around the threshold. That's just all to keep water from getting underneath that sill plate. Fasten the track a little bit with some screws, and we're going to lay the heater now. Okay, we got the heater all the way around now, covered in foil tape. We're going to put the cover track on it now. Okay, heater track on. Now we got to bolt the threshold down to the concrete. Anchors in the ground, and then a stainless screw through it. It's not perfect, but it'll never be perfect. We're going to bolt the door back on now. We're all done. We hung the door back. Heater's on. Door's closing like it should be. We're going to put the covers on the hinges. And we're all done now.
So on this one, let's just recap. We had a walk-in freezer door that had a bad door frame heater. I got the approvals from the customer, and I went ahead and ordered all the parts. Now, whenever I replace a door frame heater, I typically replace all the closing hardware. That includes the hinges and the door closure. Typically replace the door gasket, the heater track, and sometimes I replace the threshold on the bottom of the door. This one didn't need a new threshold. I was able to use the old one. So long as the old threshold is 18 gauge stainless or thicker, I can typically reuse it. But if you ever find one, and I do occasionally find one that's made out of 20 gauge stainless, they usually get trashed because they can't handle the weight of people walking on it all the time, and they get all bent out of shape. So I made sure that I showed you guys in the video, the biggest part about doing door frame heaters is the preparation and drying everything up on the floor. Typically, frame heaters go bad on the floor, and it's usually because of water intrusion into the box or into the floor underneath the threshold, and then it usually shorts out the heater. So whenever I do these things, I make sure that I spend a bunch of time drying it out, getting all the ice that I can get out of there, and then when I'm all done, like I did in the video, I make a giant barrier with silicone underneath the threshold to prevent any water from ever getting in there again, as you guys saw in the video.